You mentioned that during this time of the season, people are just throwing crap against the wall. I was reading an article yesterday by Zach Reimer, who I've never met. I don't know him. I have nothing against the guy, but it's very obvious that he is one of these guys from the outside looking in, trying to come up with ideas. He was talking about what the Yankees should do with Marcus Stroman, and he cooked up some trade proposals, and some of them were the most absurd things I've ever read.
There was a couple in there where you're just like, I appreciate those some people at least throwing ideas out there. Like when no one's throwing ideas, it gives us something to talk about.
Right.
But there's a couple here. You're just like, guys, like there's bridges that have been burned. Like you have to take that into account. Like players will burn bridges. Teams burn bridges. Like there's no way Jordan Montgomery ever becomes a Diamondback after whatever happens here ever again.
Correct.
Like, Marcus Stroman didn't leave the Blue Jays on good terms. He didn't leave the Cubs on great terms. Like,
yeah. So let's just go through this real quick. The first one that he mentioned is Stroman going to the Tigers, and they would trade Kenta Maeda for him. Okay, so the Yankees don't need more pitching. They're just trying to dump the contract, so they're going to bring back Kenta Maeda that they don't need. So then they'll have to figure out what the hell to do with Maeda. Correct?
Yeah. And
okay.
It's like,
so
the one thing that the Tigers really love is taking a bad contract. They love that. Like, there's nothing they've ever loved more than taking like Javier Baez and that money, and then Marcus Stroman and his money. Like, doesn't like. I do get the idea of the Tigers needing more starting pitching because it's basically like one dude and that's it. Like,
but he's not the guy.
Yeah, I don't see them giving anything up. I think they would make a trade and need to eat money. I could see them doing that. I'm not giving anything up for him.
Yeah. Okay. So next, the Baltimore Orioles. Are you telling me that the Yankees or the Orioles would be willing to make a trade that could possibly make the other team better that they have to deal with in the division? So under the circumstances that Zach was talking about, it would have been Gregory Soto, the relief pitcher, going to the Yankees with Stroman going back to the Orioles. So you're going to give the Yankees a better bullpen that you have to possibly face in the playoffs? Not going to happen.
And one of his arguments was that, Felix Bautista is coming back this year. And so Soto, there's really no need for him to be the closer. But let's not forget, like, one of the weaknesses of Baltimore is their bullpen. By far, that was one of their biggest weaknesses, like if not their biggest weakness. And so they traded for Soto last year from Philly. I don't see them getting rid of a hard-throwing left-handed reliever because a right-handed closers coming back from Tommy John, who you don't know what you're getting. Doesn't make sense to me. And their rotation's already set.
Next, Toronto Blue Jays. I don't care what the hell the deal is.
We don't even need to talk about this. We don't need to talk about
any chance in hell you were with the Blue Jays. Is there any chance in hell they're taking him back?
If they don't have to pay a single dime. If they don't have to pay a single dime, they'll take him back and figure out what to do with him. Outside of that, like, that's basically a team saying, here, take a flyer on somebody for free. Okay, I'll take it for free. Yeah, we'll do that. Outside of that, not a chance in hell. I was there. There were some bridges burned. They were not happy. Teams get over that shit. You're not going to give anything up for him.
Yeah. So next, the San Francisco Giants. They were saying that they would trade Marco. Now, this is okay. This isn't the worst one, but you just signed Verlander, so you don't really need another starter. But they were going to trade Marco Luciano, who's blocked in the infield, to the Yankees, and the Yankees would give them Stroman and George Lombard. I don't see
that's
that
an interesting one.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other dude who's Lombard. I don't know anything about that. But this is an interesting one because it does solve a problem for the Giants other than you do like depth and get rid of depth. But the one thing the Giants have struggled with is health in the starting rotation area. And it gives them maybe a long depth guy in the bullpen. So if you're sitting there going, Robbie Ray, we don't know if you're going to be healthy. Logan Webb's had a lot of innings on his belt. Justin Verlander, don't know what you're getting here. Jordan Hicks, that's one thing he mentions. Maybe move him back to the bullpen and let him be where he's really good at instead of pushing the starting rotation thing. But like this is the first one I sit back and go, interesting.
Yeah.
Now
possible.
again, the Tigers are interesting too, as long as, but I don't see them giving anything up. I see them taking some, like taking maybe 10 million on that contract. But this one actually, I might have some play. He's a sinker baller in a sinker baller ballpark.
Yeah, it's a good fit.
It's a good fit.
I don't know how he would deal with being in San Francisco.
I think it would all be perfect, dude. I think he's more California than you think. He's obviously built
he's a New York guy. He grew up in Long Island.
Yeah, but his attitude is he's a yoga. He'd be on the he'd be out there in the park doing yoga. People would dig it. People would love it. It fits. I actually think he'd be perfect in San Francisco. I do like this one.
Okay, the next one, the Chicago Cubs.
No, just hard no.
They had Stroman. He pitched Cy Young level for the first half of the season. They could have given him an extension. Not only did they not give him an extension, they were looking to trade him. He's not going to Chicago. It's not happening.
And he kind of like was a little douchebag while he was hurt. Like, no, douche gonna douche. Cubs found out. They don't want it.
And finally, the last one, which is interesting, but unlikely because of the names that they're doing. They're saying that the Yankees would give Marcus Stroman and the Padres would give up Luis Arias. And that's possible, except for the fact that we've heard over the last week or two that all the talks between the Yankees and the Padres for Arias have gone down. And I can guarantee you that the first person that Cashman threw out there was Marcus Stroman. And they said, huh? Hell no.
So their rotation right now, Dylan Cease, Michael King, incredible. Yu Darvish, amazing. At some point, he's 38. It's going to catch up at some point. Randy Vasquez and Matt Waldron. So they have a little at the end of that rotation there. Definitely they need some pieces. So I understand Singapore, San Diego, West Coast. I get it. Makes a lot of sense. Suarez in the back of the bullpen has been really solid. There's talk here, but I don't see in any possible way Padres giving up Luis Arias. The value of him getting on base is a lot more than a Marcus Stroman in the back of the rotation. I see it, but like having Luis Arias on base gives Tatis, Jackson Merrill, Manny Machado, Cronenworth, Bogarts somebody to hit in all the time, even though it's station to station to station. But like it worked, and like for me, I'm not screwing with that lineup, man. Like I get it. People don't give Luis Arias much value anymore because he's not like hitting home runs and stealing bases and doing all this stuff. But he has a lot of value, like for getting on base. There's still value there. And in San Diego, one place we know they love their dudes that get on base. They love guys that base just hit the ball. Luis Arias is that dude.
And Arias would be great with the Yankees, in my opinion, because
that would be incredible.
Right in front of Judge, do something similar to what Juan Soto did minus the power. But all of a sudden now you gotta be careful.
Average by 100.
Yeah.
Like it would be a Luis Arias in New York would be amazing. But what's going to happen, the only way the Padres do this is if the Padres don't pay anything for Stroman and don't pay anything for Arias. The Yankees take on both contracts. And like, because like I'm just sitting there going like, if I'm Padres Yankees, I'm like, if I'm the Padres GM, I'm like, you need this way, way, way more than we need this. Yeah. And I can go out there and still sign a free agent starting pitcher that's probably better than Vasquez, better than Waldron, and like find a spot there. But I still, Matt Waldron, like Vasquez are still young. Like, so you still you're going to give them a chance. Doesn't make sense.
And you haven't
the names don't make sense to me.
Yeah. You haven't been in the league for a long time, and I'm not in the front office, but we know that these things are facts as far as Stroman. You think the rival GMs don't know this stuff?
Yes.
Exactly.
That's the problem. Like they're looking at him, they're evaluating him too, and they know what Stroman is and what he isn't and what he could be. And that's the thing, though, is like I'm not gonna give a rise for Stroman right now. Now, a rise for Stroman last year or 2 years ago when he was with the Cubs before the All-Star break? Hells yeah. Now, like I'm really considering that because he looked like he was an All-Star. He looked like a Cy Young candidate.
Yeah. Well, Zach Reimer, you're reporting? Sorry, brother. Not going to work.